Hey guys, welcome to Fusion Weaver patch notes 1.11.0. I've been quite a long time working on this, and I've finally got to the point I can release a new update. The main new feature for now is going to be the new vendor system. The old system was working, but it was pretty lacking. So let me just call it real quick so we can see what's new. Generally, the way you spawn the vendor is the same as it used to be. Let me just get all those monsters out. Yep, they're out. The same as they used to be. The beacon. It will change in a future version, but for now it's still the beacon. And now we have the shop. It's been completely reworked. Not only do you have now categories, turning is switching the pages. You can now also sell items, changes the function. Let me just give me some money so I can show you how it actually works. So the item you can select, you can see on the screen both the item price, both the owned and in stock how much you have, and the most important thing, a tooltip. Nearly every item, nearly every weapon, nearly every... Let me just reload the game so maybe we'll get a better random. Every weapon has now full information. For example, this weapon has the general tooltip, the general flavor like text, what it is, what exactly it does upon firing, what it exactly does upon powered fire, alternate fire, powered alternate fire. So you will finally have full information what a weapon exactly does. The same goes for items. And yes, there are still some outlying issues, but it's an issue that was old and frankly just annoying, but not really gameplay impacting. It will be like I said, I will be changing the way you spawn the vendor. It will probably be similar to like it's like right now. You find the item, but unlike right now, using the item will instead spawn the vendor, and it will go on cooldown instead of the system you have right now. And just get all the monsters out again. Okay, so that's the biggest change. And let me just show you this again because I didn't really show it right. Get for example the C14 rifle mag. Yeah, wrong button. Fire is not blocked, so it's still available. Yeah, if you buy the item, you will get a pop-up and with information whether you can buy it, cannot buy it, or cannot sell it. And yes, you can finally find items in the map and sell them back if you figure that, hey, I don't really need that. And yes, the merchant's gold is now important because it's a finite resource. But technically you can just go random around the map, obtain all the things you can obtain, and then sell anything that's not really... you can't carry and then exit the map, so you get more gold. Especially considering the fact that the shop is... shop inventory is set on the map start. Generally, for most characters, it's not really that much of a deal. However, Zasha as she has the how's it called leveled items. So the higher level she is, she can obtain, find, and purchase better higher level items. Yes, that's the main new feature. I've been working on it for way too long, but honestly, those tooltips were the thing that took me so much time. They are still outlying issues with them. They are not really wrapped like I want them to be, and some items, some item names are overlapping the frame windows. It's going to be fixed at some point, but it's something that I can work in the meantime instead of like full time. That's the main new feature, but there are still a few new features. This is one of the other new items. It's the grounded vest. It's a green level armor that, as you can see, gives only 75% armor. I think we can. It was in the store. Yeah, this was in the store, and it takes 25% damage. It's weaker than the green armor in that regard. So when you get like 10 points of damage, well, 10 is not a good one to count. 4 points of damage, you get 3 points of damage into health and 1 point into armor. However, post mitigation, after the damage is dealt, if it's electric, 75% of that is only dealt to you. So getting a different quantity, 8 damage going to you, 6 into health, 2 into armor. Out of that 6, only 25% really damages you if it's electric. Frost Vest is a similar new armor, the same thing as like the grounded vest, except it's typed for ice damage instead of electric damage. Yes, this is the 3 new features, but we have yet more features. I have added, upon request, support for Chex Quest. It's not full support, as monsters do not drop the experience, because I couldn't really refactor them, rewrite those monsters, as they were using as Chex Quest 3 redesigns, rewrites some monsters on its own, and you can't really edit something that is not in the game. It's going to cause errors and it will not even launch. And the final feature, new feature that is, because there are still some changes and fixes, is a feature for Ranger that you can now, upon clicking the reload button, you can cancel the fire. It's very handy, because if you have like a high battle, fast battle, I mean, you start to knock up another arrow, and then the monster dies, and you have like, yeah, arrow ready, and you can't shoot it anyone. And now you can just cancel the attack and be great about it. Those are the new features. There are still plenty of fixes and changes. I'll start with the fixes. One might have been seen already. The armor pickup message is a bit different now. It's in the center of the screen, and it's now. Let me just summon some armor. Yeah, and it's going to be appearing differently in the log. The main reason I did that is because I've noticed that the message was broadcasting to all players. Upon picking up, if a player 1 picked up an armor, player 2 did see that someone picked up an armor. And yes, more fixes is Zasha's armors were generally, their protection granted was odd. Not even yeah, it was not only odd, but it was also somewhat erroneous amount of protection. For example, the I think it was 4 armor. No, it was Forsworn armor. If you had level 1 in the skill flight armor, you gained less protection than when you had no levels in that. It was also, I've streamlined this, it's now a linear scale. I believe there's a chance that when we spawn in, like that, we can see the actual values. It's just armor. Nope. Okay, let's summon it one more time. Yeah, generally these items are hard to find. Oh. But we can probably... No, you can't, because you can't sell weapons right now, because there's going to be a bit of an issue, a balancing issue, because obtaining, like, for example, shotgun would be easy and you'd sell it a lot of them easily. Yeah, that's... Since the shop is spawning in a delayed fashion, you can do it like that, so we can avoid so I can simulate the system. Like I said, there are a few outlining issues with the text overlapping. This is one of them. It's there's so many items that I didn't really have the time to look through all of them. But of course, no weapons. Yeah, weapons spawned because Zasha has her own categories. And yes, weapons, apparel. And I was talking about apparel actually. I went too far. So now you can see that what exactly an armor does. You can see that the 4 armor, for example, gives the 5% damage resistance flat, and then 1% for each level of light armor skill, which is up to 10% total. And all the items stack with their effects, and but multiplicatively, as it's written in all the entries. Yes, that's one thing that was problematic for Zasha as well. The four magic resistance apparel, like this, for example, gave the wrong amount of electricity and disintegrate damage resistances. I can't really remember what were the exact values, but they were, I think, they were lesser than they should be. Yes, those are the main Zasha's changes. One more change is that, fixes, is that the power attack switch text no longer overlaps. So only one text can be displayed at the same time. Furthermore, Ranger does no longer place his sword shifting animation if you die. Well, it was stupid, honestly. You know what? This no longer happens. It simply disappears. Morph scrolls, the ones that you get upon finishing a map, can no longer be used once you are in a vehicle. It was a rare occurrence, however, it could be done, and it was causing some problems later. Hydro rockets, which are the empowered marine rocket launcher mini missiles, now deal fire damage as they should, instead of physical untyped damage. Yeah, fighter and cleric and mage will have had damaged half missing status bar in heretic IVAD. It was something that I was surprised to see, but it was there. Just get this guy down. Or not. Anyway, there were a few changes for rangers. Chain lightning arrows. They were causing a significant performance drop, and they had debug texts when you are firing them. It's no longer there, and the optimization was improved. I hope it didn't break any other things, because it was a bit risky change. Though honestly, the greatest problem that might happen for that, I think, is that some enemies will not be targeted by the chain lightning. That's the worst thing that can happen. Also, for people that are using next weapon, previous weapon, weapon scrolls, the weapons now have tags, but except Zasha. She has so many weapons that I need to rework them first before I'll add such data. It would be honestly pointless to add it right now. There are several hundred of those items, and adding that and then refactoring it so there's only a few weapons, it's pointless. Nevertheless, those are all the fixes, and there are a few more changes that we have here. Notably that armors are no longer class restricted for Rebel. Leather armor that was restricted for green level armor level item armor green level armor for Rebel is now available. Yeah, I was thinking about armor, so yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So those armors that were restricted to Rebel can now be picked up by other characters, and vice versa. So, for example, Marine can pick up the letter armor, metal armor, or flame armor. Going on, Poison Arrow, the spell used by druids. Those poison arrows that they shoot no longer damage that much. The damage was reduced from 15 per second of poison damage to 5. So it's not as deadly as it used to be. It was way too deadly for a zombie man level monster. Going on again, Marine changes. There are plenty of poison changes, but simply put, let me just change it to Marine. Give myself all weapons and ammo. So, and starting. And let's power up, because it's all about the power up. The poison shotgun now poisons differently. The poison no longer stacks its strength with all subsequent damage point buffs. However, the duration is still increased. So let's talk about the actual values right now. I have it written in on my second screen. It's rebalanced power shotgun. Actually, I thought I had it right written. Anyways, as far as I remember, it now deals 2 points of damage per second over 2 seconds, and for each pellet. So if you hit all the 7, it's like poison duration of 7 seconds, 14 seconds I mean, and it does a total of 14 damage. It's something like that. I can't remember right now those values, but it's different than it used to be. It was so powerful that you could use 4 or 5 shots of full shots from the shotgun and you killed the spider mastermind. So no, that was not balanced. Going with the balance, the power super shotgun is also nerfed, with the crossfire was shooting 40 projectiles and now it only shoots 20. It's still powerful, but not nearly as powerful as it used to be. Let's just compare with the monster that you... Let's get a good one first. Spider Mastermind Dropper, as it's still doing a ton of damage. Those guys though are really weak against weapons that use Reaper projectiles. But it used to be even stronger. Yeah, Plasma Rifle now deals electric damage. It's just a damage type change. Electric, I mean, it deals energy instead of electric. It used to be electric. It's just a damage type change, and in most cases it will not be felt. And even contrarily, there's the higher chance that the energy will deal more damage than electric. Okay, going on, the power chain gun, poison is also refactored. It works similar, but the poison deals 3 damage over 3 ticks. It used to be 3 damage over 3 ticks. It is now poisoning for 4 seconds and deals 2 damage per second, so up to 8 damage per shot. It's poisoning was never intended to be a mechanic, because it's not really fitting Doom that much, because you are focusing on killing monsters fast instead of killing monsters. That's why poison usually is more effective against bosses. And yes, it works against bosses. Yeah, changes for Nova's powered rifle projectiles. The damage scaling is a bit different. It's generally slightly stronger but it's just so it will be linear scaling. The same thing with the Punisher's launcher's explosion damage. It used to be 32 on the first level, well, technically level 0 without upgrades, and up to 96 with all the upgrades. It's been a bit flattened out, so it starts with 40 damage higher, but ends with only 70 damage. The weapon splash damage isn't that important, that much for the weapon anyway. There's also a small change that's going to be a part of larger changes in the future. Now, instead of chainsaw, if there's a Nova player and if there's no other player that uses a chainsaw item, a mineral cart will spawn in the place of the weapon. Like I said, it's the start of a larger change, so most of the placeholder items that are not available to a character, like the shotgun there, for example, will be placed, so there won't be a wasted item slot. That's the thing. Like I said, it's the start, but it's only the first one, and there's none others currently added. Yet another change, a nerf to resistance armor. Resistance armor was the most powerful armor, completely the most powerful armor, because it provided you with 100 points, 50% damage reduction, and any damage it took only 1 damage. Now it's only gives the 40% damage reduction. It's not that much of a nerf, but it's still a good armor. Honestly, it's probably going to be nerfed some way again, because it's, well, like I said, it's still very powerful. Continuing with the changes. Ranger's vampiric arrows have been buffed, with reducing the mana cost from 65 per arrow to 50. I was also thinking of reducing the damage, the mana cost to significantly, and reducing their strength, so you can use a lot of them, but with diminished effect. Because right now, if you're playing Ranger and you want to use vampiric arrows, just switch to it, just drain some life, and then go back to other arrows. Three last changes are all related. Is the Megaspheres and Supercharged changes. Megasphere is no longer forbidden to Rebel. However, a Megasphere will not spawn on its own for Rebel in place of normal Megasphere. He will have his own spawn drops, but bosses still may drop the... Oh, so many mines. Bosses may still drop the Megasphere, and that one Rebel will be able to pick up. Going with that, Megasphere now has a cap for the armor it can grant. It can grant up to 999 armor. Generally, like I said, with that resistance armor, I did a megawatt playtest, and I had more than 3000 armor points at the end of the game. So yes, it might still be balanced additionally, but well, we shall see how it goes. I was thinking of reducing the armor gain. I was thinking of reducing even the health gain. About health gain, the supercharge hasn't changed. I feel it's more of a fix than a change. It used to be able only to grant you up to 200 health, and now it can grant up to 999. So the characters like Foxen with 100 health can actually benefit from the power up instead of not even being healed. And yes, those are going to be all of the changes and fixes and new stuff. There's still plenty of plans. The Monster Master was not really my priority, and it's honestly I've burned out on the character. I wanted to in game, yes, I still want it in game, but there's too much to do. I have to get the UI working. I have to get all the items ready, the spell system for the guy. It's a lot of things, and I've been working on various refactors right now, like the shop. that we have seen a second ago. In a related matter, I will be using this similar interface to use for a player screen, player inventory screen, player status screen. Is going to every character will have something similar, where you'll be able to see your inventory, read the tooltips for the inventory, potentially use the items from that screen, and maybe in the future, when I plan to do this, weapon modding. Yes, I do plan some weapon modding systems that you add, for example, for a shotgun you add a longer barrel that reduces this weapon spread but has some other penalty, or an orb for a staff that changes the damage type, something like that. I do have it all planned out, but I haven't been working on it at all yet. Yes, that's one thing I'm going to do, and I have to do some refactors for Zasha's weapons. They are too many that they are not really editable in a convenient manner. That's why I'm going to refactor this. The thing with Ranger, the reload button preventing, well, disabling the shot, should also be for her, but with a few hundred of weapons, it's not really plausible to edit every single one of them. So yes, those are the plans for the future. We'll see what I'll figure out in the meantime. Maybe I'll do something completely different. It happened before. It happened before. Anyways, once this video hits YouTube's, I think the update will be already available through the forums. The link in the description below, as per usual. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys hopefully earlier than in a half a year, and the patches will be a bit more often, but who knows what's going in the future. And again, thank you guys for watching, and bye bye.